Welcome to Tech Confidential's Behind the Money. I'm Mary Kathleen Flynn, and I'm here with Andy Garman, who's the managing partner of New Venture Partners. And your firm is a little bit different from a lot of venture capital firms, and you got your start inside Lucent. So why don't you walk us through the genesis of the firm and where you are now?
Right. We began in late 1997 as a business group within Lucent Technologies, and the R&D of Lucent Technologies is Bell Labs, a very well-known and prestigious name in U.S. industrial research. And in Bell Labs, not all of the technologies that the developers, scientists, engineers at Bell Labs produce finds its way to market. And so Lucent at the time was looking for a new and innovative means of getting more of the technology developed at Bell Labs to market. So our group was created to spin out and form new companies out of the technologies of Bell Labs.
Are there particular ones that we would know of that are, were big hits?
Yeah, probably the most well-known one that we've created is called Ubiquity Digital. Mm-hmm. And if you've heard of HD radio, which is just hitting the market now, the idea is that we're transforming the plain old terrestrial radio industry, AM and FM radio, from being an analog medium to being a digital medium.
So what's your relationship with Lucent today?
No, we went independent of Lucent in the end of 2001 and basically took the original portfolio of companies in our core team and set ourselves up as an independent venture capital firm. And that gave us the opportunity to work with a whole bunch of other companies on the scale of a Lucent and the Bell Labs and expand our horizons and our opportunities. So we work with companies like British Telecom in England, with Philips in the Netherlands, with IBM, and with probably 20 or 25 of the largest IT-based technology corporations.
So give us a feel for what kind of company you're looking to invest in and what stage are they at, and also how much you would invest in a particular round, typical round.
Yeah. The interesting thing about our model is generally there is no company when we start, and that's a big contrast with traditional venture capital. There's usually a project inside the corporation, very often within the corporate central R&D labs. So the first step for us is develop a relationship with the corporation, with the head of technology there, with the head of R&D, derive some comfort from them that we're going to partner with them to create a stream of new ventures coming out of the projects in their lab. It may start as early as a single PhD with a patent application and not much else, no management team, no business plan, no customers. We've done several of those. And it may range to as large as, let's say, 200 engineers, a finished product, but generally something that's not in the shape of a company yet. So we have to go through a fair amount of work to extract it from the corporation, make it independent, hire a management team, and then build it up as an independent company.
What's the typical size of the investment, or if there's a range, tell us the range.
We'll go as small as, let's say, $500,000 to seed something. In a lot of cases, we might incubate it within the corporation even before we spin it out and do that on our own. We'll create something that looks like a venture to the mainstream venture capital community and then co-invest with them in a syndicate from there forward. So maybe at most $15 to $20 million from our fund. Along with additional investment from other venture capital investors that we bring in.
Okay, and before we let you go, I have to ask you about the economy. We're asking everybody, how is it affecting your investment decisions? Are you looking at companies differently, especially as we now see a sort of lack of exits?
Yeah, well, since we're fortunate enough to be investing at a very early stage of venture capital, the direct impact of the turmoil in the public markets and the credit markets is not all that great for us today. Our corporate partners continue to spend on R&D. Our deal flow is roughly the same, and our early stage investments are still a few years away, in this fund, a few years away from exit. For our older investments, the lack of a public exit market inhibits our ability to get liquid in the short term. But we're patient. Our investments go on for many, many years, and we'll hopefully wait out the turmoil along with everybody else.
Well, when you start out in R&D, so of course you're taking the long view.
We're taking the long view, yes.
All right, thank you very much, Andy Garman, and thank you for watching Tech Confidential's Behind the Money. I'm Mary Kathleen Flynn.